Some of my former guys that I ran with in DP there for a while with Atheist and Big Slice over there on that other side.
Right.
Really good guys. Both good strategic minds.
I do want to say thank you for all the ones who have tuned in and not watching the CMA Awards. Thank you for coming out and watching WNF.
Yes. Play your country music in the background to tanks fighting on the screen.
Right. We totally do it, but Beaver likes not getting copyright strikes on the YouTube.
That is true. We want to put everything on the up and up here. Looks like we got tanks going up right away. No surprise to see Ghost in that LT. He is quite something in that LT. And we do know that NFTG likes the chisels, and we're seeing a couple of those right out of the gate.
Alrighty.
Trio of IS-7s coming out over on the L7 side.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. Always gets down to, I think always the last 2 or 3 picks is where a caller, especially in a format like this, you are kind of now taking a peek of what the other team is putting up there in terms of showing their cards. And now you are making some counter picks just to kind of say, okay, look, they got 3 IS-7s, they got a little bit of speed, what now makes sense in terms of fleshing out the rest of that roster. Boy, L7 is just loading up on the speed.
Waiting for Chud and Poseidon here. We're just waiting for the new addition, Poseidon, to get in his tank. We're waiting to see. L7's all set to go. NFTG Ghost and the T100 LT Snip, Madu, both in Chisels. Cornbread, Chud, both in Bad Chats, Poseidon, Pure Light, IS-7, Skrilla, Machine. Over to you, Dis.
Yeah, and over on the L7 side, we got Anonymous Hobo and Kaipa Gaming in the Bat Chats. 3 IS-7, Slice Alive and Made, Machine by Atheist, Super Conqueror by Clone Commander, and Spud AE in the 113. So definitely NFTG on defense, going with mobile, not super heavy. Only a few heavy tanks there, relying on those mediums and light tank to provide vision and mobility. Let's see how they match up. So that the lineup by L7 looks like a 1-line push or maybe like a 7-8 push. I don't see that going down the middle of the map, but prove me wrong. I could even see you doing a little supercharging of some IS-7s, if you know what I'm talking about there. Maybe hooking a Bat Chat up behind each one of them, a Bat Chat and a Machine.
Right? You never know anymore. Everybody's finding so many.
You never know. Not with these guys. I mean, honestly, it's hard to guess with these guys because they just are constantly pressing the meta into. I've never seen that before. I'm smelling the 1-line push. This definitely looks like Big Slice is saying, "Let's go, boys." 113 will go up towards the bull.
113 has really good vision and shot, and great shot on the move. It's a great tank.
Yeah, but Ghost did his job. Ghost got all the intel that was needed, and now can NFTG do what they need to do. This
Right.
rear swing
Yep.
by their mediums is critical.
Yep, the
Cornbread over
Batchats.
here, yeah, they gotta get in behind these tanks and do work. Ooh, but look at the counter, dropping Clone Commander in the Super Conch, hull down on that backside. Super smart play there. There's those IS-7s just charging down, being pushed by these Batchats. That is a supercharged conga line right there, kids. Atheist pushing the other IS-7. Love it. Ghost needs to bounce as soon as he gets that intel again.
Look at all the splits. Just boom, 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 one at a time. That's timing.
So NFTG is fanned out along the rails, using their mediums to control access points, get hull down. And now L7 now is going to start moving in on these IS-7s here, where Skrilla and the two IS-7s are holding up. Looks like they're going to try to get underneath and get cap pressure going.
Skrilla gonna get shot in the butt here. Yep, there's one. Double cap pressure going. Oh, Amorak. Not good.
Some little bit of some rotations going on by NFTG, just figuring out how to counter. We're down to 30 seconds on that cap. IS-7's there, and they're in a very curious situation in poking, but they need resets. We're down to 18 seconds.
It was kind of one of those, no matter what, get the IS-7 on the right where they're at, because they are completely hold down.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Can't
It's going
get
to be
to 'em.
capped. Oh, no, there's a reset.
Oh, no, right there, right at the 1 second mark. And here comes Ghost coming in for the resets. Here comes the cavalry, so to speak, with the mediums. They don't want to throw tanks away, but if they get down in that dip, they are now safe, and L7 realizes it, and L7's all in on their push too. Here you go, kids. Big battle royale going down. Great focus fire, taking down those IS-7s, but NFTG is taking shots too. Sniff goes down, Skrilla goes down. Poseidon's in trouble, Mito goes down. Cornbread's on a 1. Bud is being focused. Spud is down to a 1. Cornbread gets out of there at 24 hit points, and on a reload, Spud is on a 1 shot. Whew.
Ooh.
Telling you, when it happens between these teams, it happens fast, kids.
Right. Alive still out there, full health IS-7. Does have the angles on Poseidon. Should be, it's just going to be, is that 130 going to be Trolley and not pin Poseidon?
Hit point advantage way in L7's category right now. They got a full health IS-7. Type of Gaming, his Batchat's full health. Clone Commander is full health. So 3 full health tanks left at
And
this
here
stage
comes the
of the game.
Batchats.
That's going to make it tough. Batchats are in. And again, really smart. Just good focus fire, picking their targets. Little fire, boom. Now it's Chud Studley in the Batchat. Fully loaded, full health. But this is a tall order. Guessing he'll jump up on the hill, do whatever he can to take out a few tanks. But this is going to be L7's win.
Vader, what up, buddy?
Vader in the house. Looks like Chud Studley is down to a one-shot now. Trying to survive behind that rock, and he goes down, and game one goes to L7. So looking over at the NFTG side, good damage spread across the board there. Cornbread in the bat chat, putting out almost 2,000. Chud Studley, 1,200 in his bat chat. Moving on down, Mito in the chisel, 1,300. And a few more notables down there. Sidon, 1,750 in the IS7, blocking almost 1,900, so nice blocking damage there, and Pure Light in his IS7. Almost 27 in damage, 2,700 in damage, but the winners over here, L7, Super Games. Look at that. You got 4 tanks over 2K and 1 over almost 3.5K, so really good. Spud in the 113. We saw him this race out there in the beginning, putting up almost 2,400 in damage, blocking 1,400. Really good. Anonymous Hobo in the bat chat, 2,700 in damage. Super game right there. Then Clone Commander in his Super Conk, almost putting up 3K, blocking almost 12. Great game there. Atheist in the machine, 2,400 in damage, blocking 1,180. Great game. And then finally Alive in the IS7, putting up almost 3,500 in damage. Really super game there. And the first victory going to L7 on proc. We're flipping sides, and we're going to do it again. I think one of the things you saw in that last one is just, NFTG went with that more mobile setup with the mediums, but uh, just chipping away the 3IS7s, the 113, and the machine. It's still a lot of hit points, a lot of heavy armor, especially with those IS7s to work through. And at the end, it just was a little bit too much. And a great push by L7 down that one line. Again, as you've seen with NFTG's lineup as they get their tanks up again, and I think you'll see this throughout the night, is NFTG runs a little bit more of an eclectic lineup in terms of a mixture of tanks. And you will see tonight times where they will have 8, 7 different tanks up. But somehow they make it all sing together with some good synergy, and you can see that in the lineup that they have right now.
Yes, they do.
As we have seen many times, they are not shy about putting up whatever tank they think they need to make the situation right. And there's L7 up with all their tanks. We have Kaipa Gaming in the serve, Atheist and Anonymous Hobo in the bat chats. Made in the IS7, 2 Super Conquerors, Clone Commander and Alive, and then Big Slice and Spud rocking the 113s.
Over on the NFTG side, Poseidon coming out the grill. Ghost Light in that T100 LT. Maydu in the Chisel. Cornbread, Bat Chat, Pure Light in the IS7. Chud in the 260. Sniff, Skrilla, Super Conks.
Nice.
Next time I'm gonna legit do with you.
Cool. few places to put that grill on the attack. One, you can kind of keep it back in that that K2 spot to cover a one line push. You could also rotate that thing up to the 0 line and get it up on the hill. So it's going to be kind of curious to see where NFTG decides they want to make their attack, and we'll find out soon enough. One thing I always love seeing the higher tier teams is I love seeing the use of the 113. I'm not saying that just the top teams use it, but it definitely seems to be played more at the champion level status.
Correct.
Not saying anything, just saying.
It's one of those.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's a special. Well, you can't play it like an IS-7, but you can't play it like a 5A because it's kind of its own little breed. It's fast, it's nimble, it can brawl like nobody's business.
Oh, for sure.
And it has good vision.
I think yeah, absolutely. We're going to see a quick cap, I think, here by NFTG. They're definitely setting up that grill in position to farm. They're going to get those conchs hull down right at the tracks and then spread out a little bit along the 0 line to set up for a cap on the B cap.
Thank you so very much. Going out to Beard Farmer. Thank you for that subscribe. Remember, get your Discord synced with your Twitch, and you'll be able to go gold on the WNF server.
Nice. Tried to use that 260 very effectively to get over in a little bit of a hold down position. Let's see if he can make that work. Not sure about the gun depression there, but it looks like he's able to work some shots towards Big Slice in that 113. Thinks up on the hill. There can add some help, especially with that chisel and the grill. This is about connecting right now. I do like that. Spud got lit right there. Nice little hull down there in those bushes. Along the zipper. He needs to back up and get safe. Looks like Ghost is at a rotate up maybe to A or B 0. Get up in those bushes. He can poke and then pull back if he wants to. I think that's the play he's going to make there in the light tank and spread out that field of fire to cover that B cap if and when they decide to put tanks on it. One of the important things, if you're going to make this play like NFTG is attempting to do, you have to watch the backside, and that's what Cornbread is doing back there in that bat chat, sitting way back there on that K6, K7 spot, just to make sure to cover that flank, because that's one of the best counters to this, is get that rear side flank.
Atheist pulled a higher roll, but Cornbread is able to get an ammo rack shot. Oh, Cornbread needs to stay alive. He has to stay alive.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. The strat will fall apart quickly if Cornbread goes down. Cornbread's on full reload right now. Atheist has plenty of hit points, and he has help from Anonymous Hobo sitting out there on the K line.
Atheist was able to just melt down Sniff, and they're just working it back and forth. Alive, and then Atheist back and forth, taking out those super conchs from each side of the track, because that one bad chat, he can just roll up there, melt off a super conch, and there's nothing really Cornbread can do about it.
Yeah, because he's protected in such a nice way by using those broken terrains on that track. Can't get rear side shots. He's almost fully loaded. He'll go up and take Skrilla out in his next clip. There he goes. Yeah. So he took one shot and took down another super conch. That was brilliant play there by Atheist. Cornbread cannot poke again. He is a one shot.
Yeah, it looks
think,
like Ghost
and
is going to
who am I-
rotate back. And it looks
Yeah.
like, Poseidon getting just railed there from the Super Conks now.
Yeah. Oh, he's down to a one shot. He's down at 125, and he is sitting out in the open sideways on that hill. Boom, he goes down. Mido pulls back behind his carcass to keep his chisel alive.
113 now advancing onto Chud. Slowly, ever so slowly.
They're trying to make a little push. Yeah, they're trying to make a little push down here in the south. Not absolute desperation, but NFTG needs to do something to try to equalize their deficit right now, and getting Atheist out would be helpful, but Atheist is just wiggling and jiggling, and he goes down. So there we go. Pure Light, some really fine shooting right there, but Cornbread goes out, so that cost them a tank. Mido is a one shot in his chisel. And it looks like over at the top end, that 260 is in trouble as well. Completely surrounded at this point by Big Slice. Ed Studley is in trouble. The 113s are just bullying him right now.
Don't count out NFTG just yet.
Nope. That's a mistake. We've seen them come back. Where were they down? They were down like 3 games or something to L7 last time and came all the way back and won. So.
Right.
I'm just an amateur here making my commentary, but it seems like NFTG was set up nicely for a quick cap and instead just decided to trade. And I think they might have been better served by being more aggressive there with their lineup.
Right.
And forcing L7 to make a move. Looking at the NFTG damage spread, not a ton to speak of there. We have Chud Studley in the 260, throwing up almost 1,500, blocking 1,700. Pretty decent game. IS7 with Pure Light putting up 1,500. And that is about it, kids. Over on the L7 side, some really nice damage scores. Again, at the top, Atheist in his bat chat. And we just saw him doing working that little spot on the rails down on the south side, clipping out 2 tanks, 2,800 in the bat chat. Good game there, Atheist. Spud in the 113, putting up 3K damage. Really super game there. Anonymous Hobo in the other bat chat, 2,400 in damage. Good stuff. Phone Commander in his super conk, almost 1,900 in damage. The IS7 doing some work, 1,500 almost in damage, 900 in blocking. Big Tank in terms of damage was alive in his super conk, almost 3,500 in damage. So across the board, really nice damage spread. And L7 taking both games on proc. Where are we going next? Legit.
Cliff. And L7 will be on the attack. NFTG will be on the defense.
I love Cliff. Cliff's a great map. Both these teams tend to be pretty different play styles on this map. From my experience watching, commentating, and playing against these teams, L7 tends to be a little bit more aggressive, and NFTG tends to be a little bit more patient, trying to make you make the mistake. Let's see if those play styles ring true, or like always with these teams, they end up changing up whatever they're doing. We'll see something different.
That's the beauty of a good team, though, is changing up styles like on the fly. They're not predictable.
Yeah, when I say tendencies, I'm speaking of the tendencies, just kind of watching how both teams play over time. But you're right, Hells. Both these teams, and I think that's something important to be said about championship, or whether you want to call it gold level teams, as we used to talk about in the past. You're not only adapting to the meta, you're breaking the meta, you're changing up your play style, that no team can actually get a handle on what you are, because it's constantly evolving. And these, especially I would say L7 has been really good about, well, you just never know what they're going to do. I think that's also for teams interested in getting better at comp play at this level is you have to have multiple good strats that work and multiple play styles that you feel comfortable with, because the teams you're going to match up against are going to bring it. And you're seeing that like right here. Like if you look at that L7 lineup, woy, 4 bat chats right there, 2 machines, an IS7 and a 113. My goodness, what are you going to do with that? And then just like I called it over there on the NFTG side, one of everything.
All right, legit. You want to go down to NFTG?
Sure. Preelight, he's rocking the Grill 15. Captain's bringing the 430U. Chud Studley's bringing the Chisel. Ghost in the Bat Chat. Mido and the 705A. Machine by Sniff and Skrilla. And a Super Conk by Poseidon.
Yeah, an L7, 4 bat chats, Atheist, Anonymous Hobo, Sad Baby Imp, Big Slice, Double Machines, Rip NA West, Spud AE, IS7 Made, 113, Speedy. NFTG is playing defense. What is L7 going to do? They have the speed to just fly down one line, but I mean, you could also see all those bat chats just going right up the hill and taking the lighthouse with the machines. You know, who knows what they're going to do? You just can't predict it with that type of lineup. Don't blink though, kids. Looks like machines and maybe the 113 are going to go low or down the one line. And yes, all the bat chats are going top for L7. And already some good intel. That 113 Captainality did some really good job of kind of sussing out that. Are they going to punish any of those tanks? Ooh, big shot there, tracking Spud. Is Spud going to pay for it, though? Not really the damage you had hoped for having 2 machines back there farming. Now, with those L7 being able to kind of control that bull side, that hull down, that makes it very difficult to cross. That Chisel by Chud, he could be in some trouble if they're able to get rear side shots on him. Now, I don't think L7 realized those 2 machines are sitting back there with Sniff and Skrilla. So those could be some big rotations, but Big Slice is in a great position in his bat chat in that rear kind of pull down position using the rock. He can throw shots up on the backside of the hill. He can also watch where Captainality and those 2 machines could potentially flank the backside here. A little bit of a standstill here. NFTG doing a really good job of preserving their hit points. Pure Light back there in the Gorilla, sitting in a great spot. Can protect Captainality if they decide to push down. And look, here, right on cue, L7 is going to push down and try to take out Captainality, not realizing that those very patient machines are sitting back there unspotted, plus that big alpha gun of the Gorilla. Let's see how this plays out. Captainality is just teasing Made in the IS-7 to come on out and take him on.
Oh, come on, you know you want it.
Yeah, he's just like, he's begging him to come and get him. And I think Made is kind of playing the same game. Made's like, if you want me, come and get me.
Judd's still alive up here. I mean, he's been out of all this. He made the hill.
See, look,
It's crazy.
yeah, but like Rip NA West and Big Slice are playing the same game. They're like, come on, Captainality, come around, and we're going to tease you with this, half health IS-7. But these two teams are just too good. I mean, they're so patient. Neither one is taking the bait right now.
Right.
And there's lots of time left in the game. We're at 6 minutes. We're not even at the halfway point. There's a big feeling out process that happens in the beginning. This is now the point where the micro plays come in. And you're seeing that little micro battle play out right here, right at, E2. Who is going to blink first?
L7 really has to wonder where the hell the two machines are.
Yeah, they haven't seen them. There's zero intel. And just Skrilla and Sniff are being so freaking patient back there. I love it.
It's crazy. I think that it's actually paying off because, like, you would have thought that the Bat Chats would have done rotated around Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, they've never. Slice is bumping.
Well, they gotta
up
also
Baby M.
know that, that you got the grill in the back with the 705A. That's not a good matchup for bats unless you're to just get in and get dirty. Now we're coming up on the halfway mark. So this is when normally a lot of callers now are starting to think about, okay, we're in a standoff. There's lots of health on both sides, but pressure's now on L7 to make something happen. They need a tank out of the game, or they need to make a rotation. So what's the call to be? Bat Chats are grouped very nicely. Could just jump over and get an overmatch, but I think,
really stretching out that side scrape, almost.
Yeah, here they go.
100
Here they go.
feet.
Here they go. Here we go on the other side. So Anonymous Hobo and Big Slice, yes, right on cue, are going to make that low side push against the 705A and try to get on cap. That 705A is practically sitting on the cap, however. This is going to be very interesting. They haven't gotten detected yet. Atheist needs to be able to support them, though, or this
Here
could be problematic for Bat
Spot.
Chats.
Boop. Sees
Hobo is spotted. Okay, and here we go. Clock is on.
Now, Atheist is gonna try to roll over. That Baby Imp's getting stuffed though. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, the Conqueror and Chud Steadley can push back Sad Baby Imp. Atheist needs to watch that he doesn't get kaboomed by Pure Light. But Pure Light is spotted. Pure Light has to boogie. And that's what you got to do. You got to get under the gun. He's already taken one shot. He has to get up close and personal.
Rip NA West goes down. Speedy is half health. Captain is went down. Maid took him down. Machines on reload.
NFTG has the overmatch over on the east side of the map, and they need to capitalize on that quickly. They need to execute these Bat Chats. Sad Baby Imp is down to maybe a 1 or 2, depending on who hits them.
You're like
Grill. Ooh,
Oh.
look at the grill. Kills one, rams one, takes it down. Bam, bam. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Good
Ghost
stuff
now.
there.
Ghost now going after Atheist, which is pushing him into Chud Studley, who's looking the other way.
That baby imp needs to go down. Great shooting right there.
Ghost.
Atheist is on the run. And it's pretty much a squeeze play right now.
Chud went back to what he was doing, trying to bean out the 113 to get him out of there.
Yeah, and now here comes the machines with lots of health, full loads in their clip. They're coming up on Made. Made's in trouble. He doesn't even know it yet, or maybe he does know it. He's just trying to get over there and help out Speedy.
NFTG now tightening the noose.
Yeah, those machines shooting on the fly are not that great, but they are able to take down the IS-7. Atheist hanging on to a one-shot up top, still trying to throw out damage. He goes down. Speedy in the 113 wiggling. He's a one-shot. Spud is a two-shot. Down goes Speedy. And this is a GG's for NFTG, taking the first game on Old Cliff. Again, I think that played true to form. Excuse me. In that NFTG, very, very patient, setting up traps in multiple places on the map, waiting for L7 to make the mid-game change, and that was to get the bats on there, and they countered it perfectly. Looking at the L7 side, right up there you got Speedy in the 113, punching out 1,200 in damage. Not too bad. Anonymous Hobo in the bat chat, putting out 1,600 in damage. The two bigger damage outputs were done by the machine, Spud, putting out 2,900 in damage, and the other bat chat, Atheist, who just hung around up there on the lighthouse, putting out 3K. Another nice game by Atheist in his bat chat. Over on the NFTG side, and the winners, super damage spread across the board. No one really throwing up any junk there. Just good numbers across the board. Pure Light in that grill, putting up 2,500. That ram kill, or maybe not the ram kill, that shot in the cap and then taking the bat chat down to a one-shot near the end of the game. That was really super play. Captainality in that 430U, just playing that game of chicken the whole time, blocking over a grand, putting up almost 1,300. Ghost in the bat chat, over 2K damage. Super game there. Poseidon in the Super Conqueror, putting up 2,900 in damage. The machines hiding back there, but at the end of the game when you needed them, Sniff putting up a grand, and Skrilla putting up 1,600 in damage. The Chisel, Chud just sitting around there in the middle of the map the whole darn game in that Chisel with almost 3,300 in damage. And then Mido in the 705A, his job was to cover that cap on the east side of the map, and he did his job, blocking over 2K, putting up 1,300. That's a super game balanced across the board.
Yes, sir, most definitely. This is going to be interesting fight. Loving it.
I like what I'm seeing so far, right? I mean, this is living up to the expectations. It's punch, counter punch with these kids. Well, there's no question that L7 knows exactly what they want to do. What up that thing? You know, it's interesting that they're willing to forego a lot of armor and definitely go with that speed, the machines, the chisels, the bat chat. Just a few anchor tanks and alpha tanks there in their lineup. Still waiting for NFTG to put a tank up here. counter this. L7 has shown all of its cards. The great thing about the L7 lineup is that you have lots of rotation possibilities there, and you can get into your positions quickly.
Yes.
It's very smart. The question is, is there enough hit points in that pool to survive? But let's see how NFTG counters.
Oh, and they just deselect the minute they see an Arta.
Yep, there is the Arte. 261 Pure Light. He's pretty damn good in that thing. I have faced off against him in some strats in my 261, and he, I think I'll have a good game, and then he'll like double my output, and then sometimes triple it. Yeah. Want to go through the L7 side legit?
Sure. Rip NA West bring out the E4, double chisels by Speedy and Spud, Bat Chat by Big Slice, an IS7 by Hobo, two machines by Atheist, and Sad Baby Imp, and a Super Conca by Alive.
Yep. You want me to get the NFTG side there, Helter, or you want to go through it?
You go ahead and do it, sir. Go ahead.
Sure. On the NFTG side, we got that Artie, that 261 by Pure Light, E4 by Poseidon, double Bat Chat by Chud Studley, and Ghost, double IS7, Captainality, and Skrillex, and then the double machine by Sniff and Mido. I do like the fact that NFTG has decided to work that speed in terms of their lineup. Definitely a good counter in getting into position. The key is, can they get the spots for that Artie to do work? Our Artie strats are always...
That's my question.
I think they sit the Artie along the K line. I think they sit the Artie on the K line. They'll protect it maybe with the E4. That seems like enough. Maybe one other tank to hold down low. Sometimes I've seen them stick it in the K4 and 5. I still think probably the best spot is to stick it in K1 and defend it with an E4 in front. Maybe something holding the edge up there at G2. Let's see how they set it up. Your light's definitely going into the K1 position. Ooh, and it looks like they're grouping. Seeing this from NFTG a lot, where they just collect all their tanks and they go in mass. L7 has no idea that they are there yet. It's almost kind of a delayed bull push, it looks like. Atheist is there to try to find them, and oops, Atheist found everybody. I do kind of like what Atheist did there. It was risky gameplay, but very important. It gave them the intel that they needed to know what's going on. Rip NA West back there with his E4 as they're going to try to farm, but there is the focus fire from NFTG, just getting in there, getting dirty, and Hobo's just hanging on right there. But here comes the rest. The rest of L7 has gotten in here and held the high ground, which is kind of stuffing this push right now. And L7 is doing better on the damage end.
L7 got up underneath that Artie. They didn't let it affect him one bit.
Smart. And look at Hobo hanging on in his IS-7. He finally goes down, but he kind of was a problem there because it didn't allow them to push and get under the guns of L7. And now L7 controls the high ground, which is going to make it very, very difficult to push. This is where Artie needs to, Pure Light needs to drop a big shot on somebody. You know, thump Sad Baby Imp in that machine or something like that. Ghost is just trying to tease him out there, but he's taking some shots. He's pretty much surrounded right now. Spud in the chisel out there. Speedy in his chisel. I get what Ghost is trying to do. I don't know if he can stay safe there, and he does not stay safe. So NFTG down to 2 or 3 tanks. They're in a lot of trouble. Sad Baby Int rolls his machine down smoothly, taking 0 damage.
I love that drop spot with the machine.
Yeah, look at that. Atheist shows that he knows how to do that too. 0 damage. I tell you what, I'll do that 4 times out of 5 and my tank will blow up.
Right?
These guys are pretty damn good, yeah.
There it is. Remember, this
Yep,
is the best of
so,
9, so...
Yeah, so, L7's up 3-1. They take Cliff on defense. NFTG just, there's push just got stuffed. And I really, you know, before I run through damage there, Atheist sniffing out the intel and not just trusting to go up into the bowl, I really think was the difference in that game, because it called over all the other tanks, Big Slice and his buddies, to take that high ground, and they weathered that push. NFTG right there. Chud Studley in the Bat Chat, almost 2K damage there, not too bad. Captainality in the IS-7, blocking 1100, punching out almost 2K. And then the only other tank of note was Poseidon, the E4, doing 3200 in damage. Over on the L7 side, really nice spread across the board. Anonymous Hobo in the IS-7, blocking almost 1000, putting out 1400. In the Bat Chat, Big Slice getting a nice clip off, putting out 1000 damage. Legally Atheist in his machine, getting the great intel, surviving, making that nice, clever move with Sad Baby Imp off the edge of the cliff there, putting out 2800 in damage. Sad Baby Imp and his machine almost putting out 2K as well. In the chisel, Speedy doing some farming there up top with 2400 in damage. And then Rip NA West in his E4, sitting in the back, watching that push by NFTG, putting up over 4K. Really good stuff from L7 there. Nice counter to that NFTG delayed push. Legit, where are we going next?
To the River of Sand.
The River of Sand. Oh, I love this. One of my favorite maps for MBA is Sand River. Now, not necessarily always to play it, but I love watching it with good teams. So defending will be L7. Attacking will be NFTG. NFTG, in my opinion, they need a win here. Just to keep this close. You don't want to go and give, basically game point to L7 by going down another game. So I think the pressure's on NFTG here to keep it close. Looks like we're waiting to get some tanks going up, and here they go. They're starting to move. Go. Most of the tanks coming up here. Good. Wow, look at those 5As. Wow. 7 is not messing around with their lineup here. G is slowly putting up their tank. Anytime I see that many 5As coming at me, ooh, 4 5As and 3 Super Conquerors, jeez Louise. That's all. Pretty much if all 4 of those things hit you, you are going to disappear very quickly. Ah, Pure Light bringing out the Artie again on the NFTG side.
Right. It's gonna be a pretty good one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if they're going to make the boost climb with that, or just play it along the K line. You got a few options of where you can play Artie. You do not have to boost it. You can play along the 1 line and even bring it down the K line, depending on how you set up your defense. On the L7 side, you got Spud in the Chisel, 3 Super Conquerors, Sad Baby, and Big Slice alive, and then the 5As, 4 of them, Atheist, Hobo, Rip NA West, and Made in the 5As. Legit, you want to hit the NFTG side?
Yeah, NFTG, Pure Light, bring in that. OBJ 261, Chud Studley, the T100 LT, 2 Bat Chats by Cornbread and Ghost, 2 IS7s by Poseidon and Skrilla, and 2 Super Conks by Sniff and Mido.
Yeah. All right, let's see if NFTG can scrape out a victory here. Put some pressure back on boys from L7. All right. So one of the things I'm going to look at right away is I want to see where Pure Light is going to go in that Artie, because in order to make Artie work on the attack, you've got to get that tank in a spot where you can protect it and get that gun singing. It looks like they're going to forgo the climb and get it up on the 1 line. That's pretty safe up there. Lots of dunes, you got high ground. The arc works pretty nicely on that 261. Next thing now is you got to dig out those Super Conks and those 5As. Sniff is moving up in his Super Conk to that ramp position there. But woof, I'm watching L7 in these 5As, and they are, all 4 of them are storming down to K0. I believe it is Chud Studley there in the LT. He should get that intel ahead of time. If NA West is going to go back in that bowl position, back there in K0. And he does. He spots up Anonymous Hobo. Really good intel there. That kind of... So the one thing by sending the 5 ace there is you've done a few things. One is you've blocked off the 0 line and effectively made that cap a extremely hard to cap. And what the 5 a's are doing now are just trying to get Artie safe. And so they stay behind that hill so they don't lose hit points.
Sorry about being so far out, guys. I'm trying to give you as much coverage as wide angle as I can and not make the tank look like ants.
Yes. No one wants to watch ant tanks. And, you know, up in the north, we're seeing kind of your standard setup. You got the Super Conquerors playing the Bull, 3 of them. And then you got a little bit of vision and mobility with Spud up there in the Chisel. But I do like how L7 is staying pretty Artie safe for the most part. I don't think they've taken really any big shots. Actually, none at all. They have 100% of their hit points.
Right. I'm kind of surprised the 261 maybe hasn't rolled down to like K1. Maybe to try to increase maybe chances of hitting like Rip Any West back there. He would be able to drop one there. Hobo, he'd be able to drop one there.
Yeah, where Rip is, I mean, you could almost take some blind shots there. And, oh, there a shot just landed right to his left. I wonder if that was an AP shot. I mean, that put a pretty small hole there. There was no splash at all.
Right. Yeah, that was AP.
Yeah, that was...
Ooh, Maydu's getting ripped. Maydu down to 454.
Yep. If he poked up on that ramp and... now he's just sliding off there. He's in trouble because he's a one-shot potentially, depending on... Definitely if the 5 a's connect. L7 is just playing this the way you want to play it against an Artie. Dig in, get safe, force NFTG to make the aggressive move. One of the issues that you end up having with Artie is that yes, it can be a big hitter, but you kind of take a tank out of the game in terms of aggression. They're super split, L7. Yeah, 4 tanks basically in one grid square at the bottom of the map, and all the other tanks at the top. But can NFTG capitalize on it?
Looks like NFTG
so far,
is rotating. Heavy spell back to Artie. IS-7s are rotating then.
Let's see if L7 can sniff this out. Because they should be getting some intel that maybe those tanks have left. Do they know? Let's see. Sometimes your spidey sense goes off as a caller.
Sad baby up there.
Right? They can't do much unless they get these IS-7s with Skrilla and Poseidon back here into some sort of... I think that might have almost been a bait. The clock's really against them now. They're in the second half, and they don't have a lot to show for it in terms of damage. The 5 a's are starting to maybe, I don't want to say rotate, but they are starting to move a little bit and get a little bit closer to cap. It's almost like as if Atheist and Hobo feel there could be some cap pressure coming, or maybe they're just over there to counter Mido a little bit. Judd has come back down in his LT, put some vision down that line, and hopefully get Artie into it. The 2 IS-7s now are rotating back down the K line. So again, the decision, I think, and yes, here comes Artie with. The mediums up north are just there as a distraction now, I believe. We want to keep them separated, and the decision is to attack these 5 a's. We're down under 4 minutes. Ghost and Cornbread are there just to distract the 3 Super Conquerors and Spud. In order for this to work, Artie needs to slam in a shot. I think Artie just hit one right there on Atheist. Problem is the clock is really against NFTG right now.
What, 261 reloads every 30 seconds? So you're looking at
just under,
least
depending on if you got it
5
all
more
souped
rounds.
up. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that just because you can get a round out that fast doesn't mean you can actually hit. Now here,
Nice.
there's a 759 right there on Made. So you've done a little bit of work on these 5As, but is it enough? Is it enough to push them? You know, Mito's a one-shot. Ghost can only do so much in a light tank. You got 2 full health IS-7s. Now the Batchats are rotating down through the water. So yes, here is going to be the push. They're going to go all in here in about, with 2 minutes on the clock. Once Ghost and Cornbread get up there, Sniff is just going to play sniper up there on the ridge and try to suppress Sad Baby Imp and Alive in those super conks. We're going to see a full in go, go, go. I suspect that the light tank will get on the cap. Here we go. IS-7s are moving in.
Hey, West getting ripped by Maydu. That's now up, going up and over.
Bats have to pay off. They have to pay off. They have to take out a tank.
Cornbread gets
Cornbread
tracked.
gets tracked. Ooh.
Ghost makes it through though.
He goes down.
Made getting ready
He
to go
has
down.
to go down.
Atheist, all that's left now. Hobo trying to fall back.
Hobo. Yeah, doing some work. But now we're down. We're down. You know, they can't even get on the cap because Sad Baby Imp and Big Slice have rotated over and smartly leaving Alive on the ridge. Got to get on the cap. They got to get everybody on the cap, but they have too many tanks to kill. Hobo's just surviving right there
Yep, Hobo yet
in
again.
the 5A.
They just, every game.
Oh, good shot by
Scraps.
Artie. Gets him down to a 1. Poseidon should out reload him. Now they got to get on the cap. They have to get on the cap if they want any chance of winning this. I just don't think they're in position to do it though.
I don't think so either.
They got too many one-hit tanks.
And now they got a
You
crowd.
know, they're I mean, Mito's going to get on there, but Mito can get hit now by Alive. Sniff is trying to play kind of like the linebacker up there, or the blocker. Try to absorb shots, but they can't even cap out with 3 tanks on the cap now. And they don't have the hit points to kill everyone. It looks like L7 is going to take this game, barring an amazing Artie shot in the next 15 seconds. Here you go. L7 goes up 4-1 versus NFTG. That was a good battle. Went right down to the end, but L7 just weathered that storm. Looking at the damage rundown, NFTG side first. The notables and quotables. Mito in the Super Conqueror. 1900, really nice damage block. He hung on as a one-shot for a long time down there in the river. Almost 2300 blocked in his Super Conqueror. That was a nice game. Skrilla in the IS-7, putting up over 2K, blocking 800. Poseidon didn't really do a lot of damage, but boy, did he block a buttload. Almost blocking 3500. Really nice game right there. Sniff in his Super Conqueror, holding that ramp. 2500 in damage, blocking 1200, and Pure Light in the 261 Artie, putting up 3300 in damage. Not too bad. But one thing that you looked at, and we were kind of talking about this as we were going, he fired 13 shots and hit 4. So yeah, you got that fast reload, but and he still put out a lot of damage, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the day. Over on the L7 side, pretty nice job by those IS7s. Made there in his 2 grand right there. Hobo just hanging on at the end, just slowing NFTG's push down, almost 2,500, almost blocking 1,000. Atheist and Rip NAOS weren't doing a ton, but some good blocking there by each one of them. The Super Conquerors kind of got into the game at the end when they needed to. Alive there, putting up 1,100, blocking almost 1,600. The other Super Conqueror, Sad Baby Imp, really nice game there, close to 2,600. And the Chisel, Spud, sitting up there at the top, 3,800 in damage. A really nice game. So L7 right on the cusp of possibly winning this, but they still got to get through NFTG one more time on Sand River.
Is it sand or reed changing out? I forgot. Lose track.
No, I think we got to swap
It's still
sides.
sand.
Yeah, it's still sand. Yeah. And we've seen now twice NFTG bring the Artie, and it just has not worked out for them. Good damage in that last game by Pure Light, but again, not enough to be a game changer. And I think most of that damage was more near the end of the game and not really at the beginning of where you want to kind of whittle that. I guess the point I'm making is that in that first 5 minutes, you want Artie to farm and get tanks low, maybe get a tank out of the game, give you that advantage for the push. And what happened is L7 played very defensively, very smart, very Artie safe, so that when the push came, the Artie is just not as effective. And that's just all it comes down to. Looking on the NFTG side, Alpha Voodoo in the game, checking in the 430U. The Leopard Mido, really interesting pick there. I think I know where he's going to go. Chud and Ghost in the Bat Chats. IS7's Cornbread and Captainality, Sniff and Poseidon in the Super Conks. Over to Legit or Hells? L7?
Or legit if you want to.
All right. Sad Baby Imp bringing that M60. Legally Atheist and Anonymous Hobo bringing 2 Bat Chats. 3 IS7s by Big Slice, Alive and Made. Machine by Rip NA West. And WZ1115A by Clone Commander.
There you go. One thing that I know you're capable of doing in the Leo 1 is that you can make that climb solo up there at B9. It'll be interesting to see if he makes that little climb, gets up there in that kind of that sniper position up top around B9. And it's kind of a low profile tank, good gun, can make that Leo very dangerous up there. All right, let's see if these NFTG boys can put some fight back in this and get another W on the board. They are on defense, Sand River. Mido's definitely going up with Alpha Voodoo up top to the 0 line. Let's see if he makes that little sweet climb. Seen him do this a couple of times, and it's I don't think it's given away any tricks or trades of the secret. It's good to see skilled players make cool moves on this map. It's like a lot of L7 is going through not only the river, but also making a little push on the A line. Like Mito and Alpha are there to forego the climb, possibly. And yep, they already realized that
Atheist came up too fast. Madu tried to make it, but he bailed off.
Atheist is very good. You know, I mean, playing with him for a long time in DP, he is really good about the importance of vision. Early vision matters. And you've seen that now in a number of games by him, getting out there and almost stopping what NFTG is wanting to do by getting that vision. Now here comes that aggressive play by Ripon West. Yeah, they're to push down and get right into Alpha Voodoo.
Sad baby, I'm getting clipped the hell out. Good night.
Yep.
Bad Chat's ripping him up, now working on Clone Commander. They're just absolutely killing L7 with their aggressiveness.
Yep. They are not messing around.
NFTG now coming in over on Clone. Clone is going to be in deep crap, but the double cap pressure. Go ahead, Dis.
Yeah, I was just watching the battle up top where the 3 pushed over and basically are cleaning up the 430U and the Leo. And NFTG just needs to group up and hold the line. The problem is they are going to get surrounded here in just about 10 seconds. Once these so they realize that Sniff knows it, so they're going to push over. Yeah.
Oh, nice focus.
Oh, wow. Sniff just got obliterated so quickly in that super conk, and he had a ton of health. So now they're in a crossfire. They are
L7 bringing it back. Yeah, this is.
Yeah. The aggression by L7 was, I think, just caught NFTG off guard completely. They never got 100% set up and were able to stop L7 at any point of their attack. And that's what you have to kind of do, is slow a team down on the attack or make them rotate back or wait to gather tanks up, and at no point did L7 have to do that. L7 just kind of dictated the battle and went right at NFTG.
Yeah, there's a lot of one-shot L7s. It's just, I mean, you got 1, 2.
They wore them down. They're to cap. See, they're not stupid. They're to get on the cap and win the goddamn game, right?
Right.
They'll chase them with a few tanks, but they'll also just, they're happy to cap out and not chase tanks.
Look at the vision of Hobo. Wow.
Pretty impressive, right?
That was a hell of a mess.
Hell of a match, and like I said, just different play styles, different tanks, and they take down the last tank right at the end.
What would be our last?
They take it. I think that's 5, right? That's 5 wins for L7, right? They won 2 on Proc, they won 1 on Cliff, and then they took both games on Sand River.
That's 5. That's the end of it.
I think that's 5-1. Yeah, best of 9. And we have a winner there. Looking at the final damage spread, and we went for almost an hour and a half. So
right.
You got your money's worth tonight, kids. Looking at some of the big hitters there for NFTG. Ghost in the bat chat, putting up 1100, scooting down to the 430U. 1800, not bad considering they got overmatched very quickly by Atheist and the boys in the machine. Did a really good job there hanging on, putting out 1800, Captainality in the IS-7, putting out 12,000 in damage and blocking almost 1500. Really good. At the top, Chud Studley in the Bat Chat. Almost 3,600. Pretty nice game there in the Bat Chat, but not enough damage from the rest of the team to get the W. Super damage spread across the board on L7 side to finish out the last game, only losing one tank. Sad Baby Imp with 1,100 in the M60, will scoot straight down. Clone Commander in the 5A, almost 2,700 in the 5A. The Bat Chat's now rocking in there. The big one was Anonymous Hobo in the Bat Chat, 3,700 and 3 kills. Super game in the Bat Chat. Other Bat Chat, Atheist, who made that super aggressive play up in the B8 position, realizing that he had an overmatch, 2,700 in damage. Rip NA West in the machine, 1,700, and then the 3 IS7, 1,700 blocking, almost 1,000 is alive. Nade doing 1,400 in damage, and then finally Big Slice putting up 2K to seal the deal in for L7, taking it in a 5-1 versus NFTG. GG's to L7 and NFTG.
Hell yeah, most definitely there, Diz. All right. Well, Jit, what'd you think of tonight? Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, it's always fun. It's always nice to watch the great teams go at it, as a caller and strat creator. Just pick their minds, pick what they're doing. So, great matches again, as always. Look forward to next week.
Yeah. Beaver's got some stuff lined up for next week. We're actually going to be trying something new. This would be something coming from... I don't even know what the hell it's called, honestly. It's AMD versus On Your 6, 880 MBA. 10-minute timer. AMD picks the first map. On Your 6 will pick the second map. The streamer will pick the third and fourth map.
Ooh.
Match 1
I like
only.
that.
Interesting.
In match 1, light tanks and arty only. Match 2, only heavies and TDs. Match 3,
Okay.
streamer pick.
Oh, I cannot wait.
And this will be taking up the 8. This will be taking up the 9 and 10 p.m. hour. This will be a 2-hour special. So
This would be fun, Health.
right, this is gonna be a blast. And then we'll have a short break to intermingle some stuff in between. We'll have some. I'm gonna try to pull in maybe we can get Cutter on here. And some of the guys from AMD get great. So next week it's gonna be super explosive and brand new. So fingers crossed. Dis, any closing thoughts for tonight?
Yeah, just had a lot of fun. What a battle to start the night between White Wolves and THT. I just want to give a shout out again to them because they took it to Ghost Town and it was a back and forth punch, counter punch match. Go check that game out if you missed it. Check it out on YouTube or watch the replay on Twitch. And then shout out to who I think are two of the top teams right now playing. Definitely probably in the top 5-6 teams, L7 and NFTG, going at it in multi-base. All the battles were super fun to watch, very creative, great tank lineups. But L7 taking it today, getting their revenge against NFTG. I would guess in a few weeks you will see another rematch, and maybe we will settle this with a third and final round.
Right. Be pretty sweet. All right, guys. Well, thank you for everybody who's tuned in this evening. You guys have been an amazing audience. I hope to see you again next week. Same bat time. I mean, same tank time, same tank channel. All right, everybody. You guys have a wonderful night.